guys, and welcome to Debbie's Rusty Brush. Today what we're going to do is we're going to paint on fabric. We're going to do this with the intention of making a pillow out of the fabric, and we're going to have a bit of story time. My husband and I own a small motel, and like many businesses, when you make money and you put money back into your business, you do it into the business portion of your property. And so for years we have put money into the rooms and keeping them nice and keeping them updated, and now we're in a position where we can put some money into the home part of our motel. And so I'm doing the majority of this all myself, and so it's taken quite a while, and I'm in the middle of a kitchen remodel. But at the same time, my living room needs some sprucing up, and so I'm learning to paint furniture, and so I'm doing a bit of work for myself in my living room until I can get my kitchen done, and then I can do my ceiling and my floors in my living room. So come along with me and we'll get started on painting this fabric. We'll show bits and pieces of that, and then we'll show the end result after I've made it into a pillow. Okay, so I am using DIY clay-based paint on just a heavy, kind of like a denim type fabric, so it's a heavy cotton, and I am just going through and doing kind of a watercolor. You'll see me mist the fabric. I've got it really wet, and I'm blotting up where it's running down into the cow. Not too worried because we will cover that up, but I want to stop as much of the running as possible. And so this really is kind of a watercolor. You're wanting to keep your fabric very, very wet so that it absorbs into the fabric fibers instead of sitting on top. So it's going to be a very loose paint style that will run a bit here and there on you, and you just have to be willing to accept that and just keep it really wet, because we want to dye that fabric so that it's soft, not hard, when we have our end result. So I'm just going to go through and do kind of a watercolor blend here. I want my colors to blend together nicely, although I do want all of these bright colors around, and so I need to blend them in a way that they look cohesive and pleasing to the eye. So the reason that I'm doing this particular project is because I was given a bench. I got it free from a gal that I know. She was getting rid of it, needed a little work, had to glue some areas back together, and I decided to paint it and put it in my living room. And so where we live is really cool. It's got all the old tongue and groove walls, but everything in my house is wood, with the exception of a chair or two and my love seat, which my love seat is brown. So I want some color. The wood walls, I love my wood walls, but it robs me of color. So today's project is going to be adding some color into my boring dry. Okay, so let's start getting some color on this cow. Now you can see where my background has ran into my cow, and that is okay. We'll just utilize some of that color along with the other and cover up what we need to. So I started by going white right through the main part of the cow's face, and now I'm just adding in what would typically be black, but I don't really want to use a lot of black on this particular painting. I want it to be bright and vibrant and add that color that I'm missing. So what I'm using is I'm using a combination of Bohemian Blue, Blue Iris, and Cherry Picked at the moment, and I am keeping the fabric very wet. You'll see me mist occasionally with my mist bottle so that it will blend in. Now this here, I'm adding some Old 57 into the lighter part of the ear. So basically you want to follow the values that you would see if you were painting in a normal color scheme of black and white and grays, and you want to follow those values relatively closely, but you just want to add in your fun colors, and it will start to run some. As you can see right under the ear that I just did, it's starting to kind of run into that yellow, and that is fine. Like I said, you have to just kind of go with the flow, and it's going to be loose and painterly because that water on the fabric is going to just take the paint where it wants to go. You can blot off a bit, rub in with your fingers to get it to saturate in, rub really well with your brush as you're doing it. This kind of is hard on your brushes when you're doing this. Because you do want it to be forced into that fabric as a dye. Is I will be redoing a desk for my area, and I needed a chair for my desk that doubled as a desk chair and also for seating in my living room. And so I chose the paint scheme that I want for my desk and how I'm going to do that. I haven't started it yet, and I probably will have some videos on that project because I have to do some wood stripping and things which I've never done. But the chair that I chose is just a slipper chair, and I don't know why, but yellow spoke to me. So I got my slipper chair in bright yellow, which added just a pop of color into my living room, which I really, really, really have been missing with all the... Okay, so I've done the nose in gray, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the nostrils in black. And the only other areas that we will use the black is going to be around the eyes and then right in the center of the eye when we go to do that. I want this cow to be very colorful and not have a lot of the traditional colors to it. Now I am going to be adding some blue into the gray on his nose. Because I want to have some shadows and lights in there, just like a normal cow would have. You might do it with different colors, but this is all about the fun of the colors on this cow. Like I said, go ahead and use the funky colors. Just try to keep your values similar to what the values would be if you were painting it with normal coloring. So the colors that I've used so far are Cherry Picked, Kissing Booth, Red, Cardinal Red, Turquoise, Blue Iris, and Bohemian Blue, Yellow, Green, and Orange. And of course a bit of white, bit of black, bit of gray. Here again, just keep your fabric wet and do that finger blending, and that helps push that colored water down into the fabric so that we're doing more of a dye on the fabric than we are painting over the top. And again, remember, you're going to get the running, as you can see over on the left hand ear. And that is quite fine. So while I was chair shopping, which I got from Wayfair, which I have no affiliate with, I just decided that that's where I would look for a chair from. And so as I was chair shopping, I thought, well, let's just look at a few of the other things. And so I was looking through the pillows because I thought I might want a lumbar support pillow for this chair if I was going to spend any time in it. And I came across a pillow of a bright and colorful cow. And I really, really, really liked that pillow. Okay, so we're just going to go through and do a bit more refining on the face and get some of the definitions put in there for the around the nose area. And as you can tell, when the colors dry, they mute out a little bit. So I'm just going to play with the values and the brightness on those and get a little bit better of a dye job going. Unfortunately, that pillow was like $50 and it was on their Black Friday sale. And I'm cheap. Guys, I'm cheap. That's why I'm doing the remodel myself, which is the never-ending remodel that is taking forever because I have so much going on between the motel business and my booth and my Etsy shop and trying to do bazaars and filming YouTube videos. I just have a lot going on, and so my kitchen remodel is the remodel that's never ending. Hopefully we'll get there one of these days. But I love this pillow. This $50 pillow, I absolutely loved it. And I had to have it. But did I mention I'm cheap? All right, so we're going to work on the eye a little bit. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to put some layered chocolate or a nice brown color into the eye. Again, using lots of water and some finger blending, get that really good down in the fabric. Okay, and then let's just put a little bit of white into the corner of the eye and do some finger blending there. Okay, so now we're going to put just a bit of black in the center of each eye. And now we're adding a little bit of a gray blue and doing some finger blending right there to get a reflection going on in the eye. And then we're just going to add a couple of those little twinkle dots in each eye to give it some life and make it look like a real eye. Okay, and so now we're just going to take some white and give some definition to the top of the head. So, being cheap but creative, I decided that I would make my own cow pillow. So that's what we're doing today as we paint on the fabric. And I'm going to turn this piece of fabric into a pillow for my bench. All right, so now we're just going to get some color in the body here. And we're keeping it wet. We're dabbing it in. We don't want the body to overpower the face. I want the face to be the main focal point. but I do want some color in the body itself. So we're just going to go through and add in some detail and add in some color, and make it kind of match into what we've already got going on and give a bit of detail throughout the body. Okay, so we've saw bits and pieces of painting this pillow, and I explained a little bit about how I'm going about doing it, but this is my cow pillow. You guys, I'm obsessed with this cow pillow, and I had all the stuff here to do it. I didn't have to go buy anything. So my $50 pillow is probably about a $5 pillow. But for me, it was free because I already had the stuff just hanging out around the house. All right, so I'm going to show you a picture of where this cow pillow, or a small video of where this cow pillow belongs and where it's going to live in my house. If you like these videos, please share them with your friends and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and hit that little bell so you get updated anytime I go on. So you get updated anytime I upload a new video. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today. Bye-bye.